Have a close look at this photo. It's real, not AI, and ask, why is the former boss of Australia's National Anti-Corruption Commission, retired General and Judge Paul Brereton, pictured sitting in an official party with a convicted international criminal who General Brereton later refused to investigate for serious Commonwealth corruption? This US felon's name in Australia is Norbert Keough. Before his 2007 New South Wales name change, he was known in America as Norbert Basil McLean III. How did this convicted international criminal, who before he came to Australia was locked up for more than 2.5 years inside various American military and civilian prisons, how did this US con man get General Brereton, his NACC, the Australian Federal Police, Prime Minister Turnbull and Governor General Hurley to turn a blind eye to his legal fraud, stolen valour, military crimes and illegal Commonwealth payments of at least $70,000 in wages? How could a notorious US con man over a 20-year period successfully hold himself out in Australia to be a decorated US Gulf War hero, qualified US barrister and trusted Aussie veteran legal expert? To all these experienced Australian high office holders, including a former RSL Australian President and Tasmanian Integrity Commissioner, retired Major General Greg Melick. Now that General Brereton is no longer in charge of Australia's national anti-corruption watchdog, we call on the NACC's new leadership team to properly investigate our official complaints and not just casually dismiss them as they've done before. In October 2017, the Sydney Morning Herald published an article which exposed some of this international criminal's long, dishonourable history of jail and fraud prior to his immigration and name change in Australia. We're not asking for special treatment or effort from the NACC's Acting Commissioner Kylie Gilgore and her other senior NACC office holders, Dr Ben Gauntlett, Jamie Lowe, Penny Shakespeare and Philip Reid. We ask that they first just read the October 17 national media article on Mr Keough, and then examine the Californian court records and other documents that my wife and I previously provided to General Brereton in our official NACC complaints. How hard is it for Australia's premier anti-corruption agency to carry out a basic international criminal history background check on a former Commonwealth employee? We understand how difficult and sensitive that this NACC investigation will be in practice. If the NACC confirm Keough's a convicted international criminal and notorious fraudster, then a political house of cards built by the Liberals over 20 years will fall, exposing one of Australia's greatest political scandals and tainting the professional reputations of many important people. I mean, it's not every day that the NACC question their former boss, an ex-Governor General, an ex-Australian Prime Minister and two current sitting Australian Senators, Lambie and Tyrrell, about their relationship with a convicted, dangerous international criminal. A US con man who over 2 decades in Australia was magically made a senior executive officer in the New South Wales RSL and put in charge of millions of dollars of veteran welfare funds, fraudulently admitted to the New South Wales Bar, illegally sworn in as a New South Wales JP, protected from investigations by the New South Wales ICAC, secretly employed by Senator Lambie, with help from now Senator Tyrrell, and with permission from Prime Minister Turnbull, negligently cleared by Federal Parliament security and given access to secure areas and computer systems in Parliament House, aided, abetted and criminally protected by Tasmanian Police and prevented from giving damning, self-incriminating federal court witness testimony linking a Liberal government to corruption by a judge who was a former member of the Liberal Party. My name is Fern Messenger. 20 years ago, as a Queensland MP, I helped nurse Tony Hoffman expose the official Labor government corruption surrounding another dangerous American fraudster, Jayant Patel, who also infiltrated our public service.
She became known as the whistleblower, but for the people of Bundaberg in Queensland, Tony Hoffman risked everything to save their lives. A nurse in the local hospital, Tony stood alone against Dr. Patel, a senior surgeon who she believed responsible for the deaths of patients. She fought hard to be heard, and finally a newspaper report and Royal Commission confirmed Tony was right.
I'd love to see him behind bars.
From the time Patel arrived there, Tony did everything by the book. And then when the book failed her, she stepped outside that book and made up her own rules.
When Tony went to talk to the Director of Nursing, I think she was told that she had a personality clash between her and Dr. Patel.
She said to me this night, there's a doctor up here killing people. And I said, well, is someone doing something about it? And she says, well, I'm trying to.
I guess she'd been battling for more than 2 years to save patients' lives. In Parliament, I called for Patel to be stood aside pending the results of an investigation.
Every word of her statement was questioned by the lawyers cross-examining her.
They tried to make out that she was racist because of the Indian doctor.
She's been threatened with jail, she's been threatened with loss of career, and she's almost lost her sanity. In many people's hearts, she is already an Australian of the Year and our local hero.
Patel, a Queensland Labor state government employee who was let into Australia by Howard's federal Liberal government, was responsible for the unlawful killings of 87 Australians and the criminal assaults on at least 1,500 unsuspecting Aussie patients. I know what it's like when desperate governments, powerful, corrupt politicians and bureaucrats try to silence genuine whistleblowers. I know how dirty, malicious and vengeful their reprisals and payback are. Or at least I thought I did. Since my wife and I tried to tell the truth about Mr. Keough's Australian crimes and officially report his Commonwealth corruption, we've been unlawfully sacked by the Liberal federal government and Senator Lambie, threatened with secret jail by the head of ASIO and ex-SAS commander Duncan Lewis, deliberately exposed by the AFP to terrorists who sent to our workplace a still unresolved ISIS death threat and beheading photo, illegally raided by 6 armed Tasmanian police led by Detective Sergeant ASIO, who acted on the lies of this convicted international criminal rather than our initial criminal complaints about the US conman, targeted by Liberal government lawyers with multi-million-dollar bankruptcy, and slandered by a federal judge and former Liberal Party member who thinks it's a workplace crime for Senate staff to confidentially complain to their Prime Minister about an unresolved ISIS death threat made to their Commonwealth workplace. This convicted international criminal, Mr. Norbert Keough, today is still on the loose. He's a serious danger to the public, but the Australian Federal Police, National Anti-Corruption Commission, the NACC Inspector, New South Wales ICAC, Tasmanian Police and now Prime Minister Albanese's Labor government have all deliberately turned a blind eye to his crimes and our complaints. Recently we were given a tip-off by a retired senior federal police officer and RSL insider that this overseas crim fled from Launceston, Tasmania to Perth, West Australia. We've written a number of times to WA Liberal and SAS veteran Andrew Hastie and heard nothing. Crickets. We've written to the Labor Prime Minister Anthony Albanese about this corruption. Crickets. We've complained to our local Labor MP Anne Urquhart. Silence. I'm an Australian veteran. I joined the RAF when I was 15, served for 9 years, 2 of which were overseas. All Aussie veterans and their families deserve protection from convicted and known fraudsters like Mr. Keough. This is a matter of urgent and grave public importance. So we're calling on all the MPs and senators who've been issued this video as part of our continuing public interest disclosures to raise our matter under privilege in Parliament as soon as possible. And in doing so, demand that the interim NACC leadership team act now. If we're lying, throw the book at us. Get ASIO to threaten us with secret jail for 10 years. Again. I respectfully put to the honest politician who watches this message now, this federal farce, criminal cover-up and conspiracy has dragged on too long. Australian veterans have been left unprotected and subjected to this overseas criminal fraud for too long.
At all. Honestly, you are the most disgusting human being.
If you're an MP and simply turn a blind eye and do nothing now, or when the truth is finally exposed, then you too are complicit and will have been part of the official corruption and cover-up of, frankly, one of Australia's biggest political scandals, which has tainted both Labor and Liberal governments. Please, do the right thing. Put official pressure on the NACC leadership. Demand that they answer these two important questions. Why did an ex-NACC boss, an ex-Australian Governor-General, a Liberal Prime Minister and two powerful Tasmanian Senators, Lambie and Tyrrell, hang out with or assist, aid and abet a convicted international criminal whose ex-US partner alleges is a thief, sexual predator and dangerous blackmailer? And why have the NACC, AFP, New South Wales, ICAC and Tasmanian Police blocked all investigations into this convicted American conman, thief and stole-of-valor criminal? Evil may have its hour, but God has his last day and say.